it goes a long way to sort of remind people that though this may be the most transformative journey you've taken in your life, it doesn't mean it has to be serious. You may have wondered in your life that is there something that's, always true? Is there something like a mental compass that always points north? And sometimes the total intelligence may tell you to eat a French cookie. One of the most certain ways to know you are sort of going the right way, so to speak, is when you experience love. It's unmistakable. First of all, this is an adventure where the captain's happy bear and celebrating owl will be guiding you to the universal truths of non-duality. You become so much more sensitive to what does the totality of the now, of the right now, sort of tell me. The non-dual understanding, it's not like this devoid of joy and living and all these artificial rules that we impose ourselves on. It's not like that. The non-dual teaching is meant to be digested in a way that reveals this love, instead of like hanging on the concepts like there is nothing or there is only emptiness or something like.
Hello, I'm Tuomas, aka Happy Bear from Non-Dualify, and today we are going to be talking about our adventure and an overview of the non-dual, the way of adventure. So, welcome Olli.
Thank you, Tuomas.
And we thought it would be a good idea to give you a quite quick overview of why we've chosen to do an adventure style exploration of non-duality and go through the main themes of these 7 islands we have chosen for the adventure. So, would you start?
Yeah, thank you, Happy Bear. So my name is Olli, and I'm the captain of the Cosmic Dancer, the ship that sails across the cosmic islands. My spirit name is Celebrating Owl. So first of all, this is an adventure where the captain's happy bear and celebrating owl will be guiding you to the universal truths of non-duality. As for the why the adventure, I think that is the essential question. Well, I think the most honest answer to that is that we really felt very inspired by this whole theme. But I also think that sometimes to see the truth that is inside us in the present moment, we need some sort of awakening, or maybe we need to do something to our circumstances that sort of shake the mind a little bit. And I think this kind of fantasy adventure is, if you come aboard the Cosmic Dancer, you have to, take off your serious hat, because there's no way you can even board the Cosmic Dancer with, too much sort of seriousness and, this kind of, I want to be this rigid me. So I think it's already sort of implicit in our concept and adventure that I think it goes a long way to sort of remind people that though this may be the most transformative journey you've taken in your life, it doesn't mean it has to be serious.
Yes, exactly. I feel that this kind of an adventure or gamification even of the adventure, it gives you permission to explore. Like, it gives you permission to try out things and like see what happens, and it's not that you you might feel that this is such a serious thing and what if I fail? But if we start to explore and test out and feel for ourselves, it's a bit gentler way to approach in a less serious manner a topic that is at the core of like our beings and things that philosophers have been exploring and now scientists have been exploring for centuries. Shall we go through shortly what these islands are?
Yeah.
And in future episodes, we're gonna be going more in depth into each island, like what the theme is and why we've chosen it. But what is the first island?
Yeah, so the first island is the island of universal powers. And these universal powers are truth, love, and beauty. And this is chosen as our first island because I believe these three words embody the non-dual teaching very well. I think, well, I would say I have completely fallen in love with the truth. And I would even go so far to say that the non-dual teaching is aligning yourself with your inner truth. And it sort of, you may have wondered in your life that is there something that's, always true? Is there something like a mental compass that always points north? And yes, there is. It's just often obscured by our belief systems. And I think that this sort of pointing first to the truth is absolutely essential because truth can be something that is experienced in a sort of in a deep spiritual way. It can be this sort of experience, this sort of revelation. The mind is illuminated for a limited experience, or it can be something as common like you feel very clearly that okay, so I don't feel that good, and okay, so I was too tired to accomplish that given task. So you see that, okay, so what I should do now is tell someone, for example, I don't know, if you work in a business environment, you tell the customer that okay, I was too sick or too tired, I couldn't get the thing accomplished. So even that can be, I think, is very much in alignment with the non-dual truth. It can be very sort of day-to-day practical, but your sense of what is actually true gets much clearer, and also you sort of spend much less time resisting what is right for the moment.
Yeah, trying to mold the reality or make excuses or...
Yeah. And for love, the second topic, it's of course what we humans really love is love itself. So when we say we love something, what actually happens is that consciousness reveals itself to itself in that moment. And we feel this, we could call it shared essence, this sort of dissolving of the separation between you and the so-called object that you love. And it's this unity that is like a homecoming for us. And this is so important because the non-dual teaching is meant to be digested in a way that reveals this love, instead of like hanging on the concepts like there is nothing or there is only emptiness or something like that, which those are like only true from the experiential point of view. So something like that has to be very deeply recognized before it's liberating.
Yes.
Otherwise it can be sort of like really it can be the cause of suffering.
Yes, I've encountered like this spiritual bypassing, which is one term for it. Like everything is love. Someone might be genuinely in a sort of non-dual path, even feeling some connectedness to everything, but still it's a concept that everything is okay, even though life might be, they might be in financial troubles and denying it, or like there should be some health issues that should be taken care of, but everything might be kind of on the conceptual level, like everything is okay, everything is okay. So it needs quite deep realization for it to.
Yeah. And one of the most certain ways to know you are sort of go in the right way, so to speak, is when you experience love. It's unmistakable. It is. So, and then beauty, I also think the third power that we meet on the island is, I think this is very important because usually the distinction is made between like philosophy and art and music and like tasting wonderful things. Like I think many people may have this kind of idea that the non-dual teaching is like don't ever drink wine, or I don't know, like don't go to fancy restaurants or whatever, you
Like
need
you
to
are
be like
content doing
yeah
nothing, like you
you
don't need any stimulation or like
you need
any
to
choice.
you you aren't there until all you eat is like nuts and raisins or something. Well, no, I'm not saying that it can be a valid experiment for someone to sort of experience like the dramatic simplification and sort of taking much less food, and it can be, I'm not saying it cannot be a valid experiment. It certainly can, but that I want to tell an example here. I remember I was walking with my wife in Helsinki, and I was feeling upset because we had went to buy rubber boots, and she bought like 70 euro boots, and I also bought 70 euro boots, and that was like very out of character for me. I realized I was sucked in by a trend, and I just spent 70 euros on rubber boots, and so I was like, ah. And there's this, then in that part of Helsinki there is this wonderful, like this French, I don't know what to call it. It's like a French tea coffee shop, but it's not like a tea coffee shop. It's like this. It's obvious that the energy that shop is presenting is love itself. So I don't think a native Finnish person could ever have a shop like that. So it was so obvious to me. This is this has to be truly a French shop. The colors were so bright and warm, and every detail was so lovely. And then we bought these macaron, I think it is called. It is French cookie.
Yeah, those colorful
small. Yeah, colorful small cookies, which are basically probably made of sugar, which is one of the enemies of the meditator. But anyway, I tasted it, and I was immediately back to my true nature, because even through the taste, we actually feel or can feel the energy where that is coming from. So on a surface level, you could say, well, he's eating sugar. Actually, on a deeper level, I was tasting love, and I was a bit annoyed. But when I tasted the cookie, I was like immediately back in my true nature. The body felt soft and warm again, and I was like, oh, this is lovely. And I mean, so that's just an example, how the non-dual understanding, it's not like this devoid of joy and living and these all these artificial rules that we impose ourselves on. It's not like that. It accommodates it's the sort of total intelligence of the situation. And sometimes the total intelligence may tell you to eat a French cookie.
Yeah. And as you kind of deepen some, for example, addictive patterns can, like, you are not forced to eat a cookie every time to feel the love.
No.
Or you're not forced to have a half bottle of wine to feel okay or kind of lessen the intensity of suffering.
Yeah.
It comes from another place of enjoying those aspects of reality, having great food, doing enjoyable things, having a glass of wine, having a cookie.
Yeah, definitely. It's like but this comes back to actually the inner truth, because you become so much more sensitive to what does the totality of the now, of the right now, sort of tell me. And it's not a voice that tells you usually anything, but you just sort of flow without resistance to the right to the right action or whatever it is. So, and I mean, all of these aspects, truth, love, and beauty, are absolutely fundamental to the non-dual understanding. And on our first island, we sort of meditate and contemplate on what they mean, and we offer various teachings on this. So I hope I'll see you.
One quick question: what kind of exercises are there involved?
Yeah, good question. So the first week we'll have a sort of overview on the subject on the island, like this, the island of the universal power. So we have these contemplations and teachings on what this topic means. And then there on the second and third week, we have a more spontaneous meditation and satsang. And we'll see. I don't know what comes up from the presence of awareness, but it may be something that is completely connected to the themes of the island or not, but we'll see. So these are the kind of spontaneous meditations and satsangs that we will be having on the island. And of course then we will have our longer half a day about retreat on the last week of the island, where we will sort of explore what we have learned on this subject.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I think that wraps up the first island. Thank you.
Thanks.